Welcome to our tech tutorial on Kentucky Libraries Unbound. Kentucky Libraries Unbound can be found by visiting the Campbell County Public Library's website at www.cc-pl.org. Once you reach the library's website, you can go to the Digital Branch tab. Underneath the Digital Branch, you're going to look for Download eBooks and Audiobooks. Once you've reached the Kentucky Libraries Unbound landing page, you can scroll down to read more about this free service that allows you to download ebooks, audiobooks, digital magazines, and videos to computers, smartphones, e-readers, or tablets. This page also offers information on the Libby app, and we'll have another video on the Libby app itself so you can learn more about it later. To use Kentucky Libraries Unbound, you'll need a library card. If you don't have a library card with us, you can sign up for a digital patron card to access our digital collection and online resources by clicking this link right here. You can also access the digital patron card information by returning to the Digital Branch tab. Digital patron cards are at the bottom of the list. You can also find a frequently asked questions section at the bottom of the page. Here you'll find lots of questions like, where is the Kentucky Libraries Unbound? How do I find items to check out? How do I download my items? But we'll also talk about some of these questions today in our video. Let's go ahead and head to the Kentucky Libraries Unbound website. You'll do so by clicking this link right here. Now that we've reached the website for Kentucky Libraries Unbound, let's go ahead and sign in using our library card number. To sign in, you'll find this button right here on the top right-hand corner that says Sign In. First, it's going to ask you to select your library. You're going to look for the Campbell County Public Library. Then it's going to ask you to go ahead and input your card number, and then you'll hit the Sign In button right here. I'm going to go ahead and put in my library card number. Once you've signed in, you'll see that you'll return to the home page, and the Sign In button that was in the top right-hand corner now says My Account. Logging in with your Campbell County Public Library card also guarantees that you're seeing the entire collection that is available to you. Campbell County Public Library orders additional materials that may not be available to everyone on Kentucky Libraries Unbound that are only visible to those who have Campbell County Public Library cards. So that's one reason why I have you log in first. Another reason to go ahead and log in using your library card is that it makes it easier to go ahead and borrow or place holds on items as you're doing your searches. Let's take a look at the home page. On the home page, you're going to find featured books and lists that change on a regular basis. For example, if we scroll down, we'll see the Black Voices collection. These are books that are featured for Black History Month. Or you'll see the Just Added books. These are books that are new to Kentucky Libraries Unbound. If we return to the top of the page, you'll see a lot of tabs along the top bar that can help you navigate the website. At any time, you can click this Kentucky Libraries Unbound image in the top left-hand corner to return to the home page. Next, in the right-hand corner, you'll find this magnifying glass and search, which will open up a search bar so that you can look for titles and authors or topics that interest you on Kentucky Libraries Unbound. Next, in the far right-hand corner is the My Account tab. On My Account tab, you can see the Loans page, which is where items are that you have checked out, the Holds page, which is items that you're waiting to get, your wish list, your rated titles, your history, which is all the items you have checked out on Kentucky Libraries Unbound if you have that option turned on, and your settings. This is also where you can sign out and change to a different library card number if you need to. Now let's search for an item. In the search bar, I'm going to type in history because I like history books. All right, we can see that we have a lot of results. In this left-hand corner, you can see it says showing 1 through 24 of 9,368 results. That's a lot of results, and I think there's some options we can use to eliminate some of them to find something we're the most interested in. You can do this by using this left side panel to make some choices that will help eliminate some of these options. For example, the most common one to use is availability. You can choose items that are available now, which means they are available for you to check out right away. You could also do audience. Maybe you're looking for something that's for a young adult, so you could choose young adult. Maybe you're only looking for ebooks or audiobooks or magazines or videos. There are options for that too. Under ebooks, notice that they have Kindle book. So if you are a Kindle user, you can eliminate anything that is not going to work with your Kindle. I'm going to select EPUB book. That is the most common type that works with most devices, but it doesn't work with Kindle users. Next, we can eliminate things by subject. So perhaps I'm looking for nonfiction because it's showing me fiction and nonfiction right now. Maybe I'm looking for something a little bit more detailed, like a biography or autobiography. I want to go ahead and choose biography and autobiography, but you can see there's a more button here if there's not a choice right away that you might be interested in. All right, so we can see that we've already eliminated a lot of results. We're down to 1,318 results. That's a little bit more manageable. There are other options including language, interest level, ATOS levels, lifestyle measures, and text difficulty. Those last four are really used for students who have different reading needs that need to be met. There is also an option for date added. Now, date added is not based on the book's release date. Some older items might have been added recently to Kentucky Libraries Unbound that will be seen underneath date added. If you're looking for books by the release date, it's better to use this option over here in the top right-hand corner and to sort by release date. That way you're seeing the newest items first. Now let's look at some of our results. As you can see, at the top of the books, there are different banners, such as this one that says Coming Soon, or this one that says Waitlist, or this blue one that says Available. Each of those has their own meaning. For example, Coming Soon means this book is not yet released, but you can go ahead and place a hold on it by clicking Place a Hold here. Next, Waitlist also means it's not available, and you can still place a hold by clicking Place a Hold. And then, Available means it's available now for you to check out, and it will say Borrow instead right here. Also, you can tell the format of the item that you're looking at by seeing this little image right here. This book image means this is an ebook. If it was an audiobook, you would see a pair of headphones. Let's go ahead and look at an item to learn a few more details. If you want to know how many copies are available to you to check out, you can check right here above the Place a Hold button or Borrow button. You can see there's 0 of 18 copies available. If you want even more information, you can click this little question mark. Here you can see that the library has 18 copies. There are 26 people waiting in total, and their people waiting per copy is 1. That means if you go ahead and place a hold, that you will be number 27 in line on these 18 copies. You can also read a description of the item. You can see details, such as its release date and other information. And you can see reviews. You can also see where other readers have rated it right here underneath the star rating. If you scroll down, you can also see options of what you may also like based on this choice of a book. All right, so let's go look at a book that is available for us to check out. All right, so this Lincoln book says it's available now. Just like with the other book, you can see that it says 1 of 2 copies is available. There's no question mark here because you don't need any more information about waiting on it. It still has a star rating, still has description, details, and reviews, and it still tells you what you may also like based on this choice. Let's go ahead and click Borrow. Before we go ahead and hit this other Borrow button again, we'll check this drop-down menu right here. Right now it says Borrow for 21 days, but if you click it, you can see that you have options for 7 days and 14 days. Depending on the length of time that you think it will take you to read this book, you can make this shorter or longer. Perhaps you don't want to hold up this much space on your account if you think you can read it really quickly, or you want to make sure that if you're not finished with it, that it might be able to move on to someone else on the list. I'm going to stay with 21 days. This one looks like a pretty hefty read. All right, once I click borrow, it's going to tell me all of my options that I could use to download this book and read it. One is Read Now with Kindle. If you're a Kindle user, you can go with this. Read Now in browser, which means I would be reading in my computer's browser, like Google Chrome or Firefox. Or I can download an EPUB book. So perhaps I have a reader, such as on my iPhone, I have Apple Books, and I could download it to that, or I could download it to another reading device on my computer. All right, we're going to look at some of the options underneath my account. We're going to start with the loans page. On the loans page, you can see everything that you have checked out. You can also see here it says you can borrow 18 more titles. I have 2 books out right now, which means I can have a total of 20 items checked out. You can also see at the top of each item how long you have left to read it. For example, this one says expires in 21 days. You can also click these 3 little dots to get some of that information that we saw on the previous page, such as reading a sample, viewing the details, or seeing other items you may also like based on this item. You can also remove it from your history if you don't want this item to show up in your Kentucky Libraries Unbound history. We can also see all of our options to read this item again, such as with Kindle, in your browser, or downloading the EPUB book. At the bottom, you can see the button where we can go ahead and return this item if we're done with it. Next, let's look at the holds page. You can navigate between the My Account pages over here on the left-hand side of the page. Holds are all the items that you are currently waiting on. Just like on the loans page, you can see that you can place 16 more holds. I have 4 holds currently, so I can have 20 holds on my account. At the top of each of the holds, you can see when you place the hold, so you can have a good idea of how long you've been waiting on it. This one still says I'm number 27 on 18 copies. This one over here gives me an estimated wait time since I am number 1 on this copy, which is about 2 weeks. You can also see options to remove the hold if you want to do that as well. And once again, you can see all those options that we saw on the page earlier, such as reading a sample, viewing details, adding to your history in case you maybe read it as a physical item and you want to let yourself remember that you've already read this item. So when you delete that hold, you still have this in your history. And also items you may also like based on this item. All right, so let's look at the history page. On the history page, you'll find a listing of all the items that you've ever checked out on Kentucky Libraries Unbound. Of course, this is either from the start of you using Kentucky Libraries Unbound or when you turn on that option in the settings. You can see the title of the book, the author, what format you borrowed it in, the ratings, as well as the date that you checked it out on. This can be really helpful if you're trying to remember a book or an author that you've read before and you know you've read them on Kentucky Libraries Unbound, so you can look through this listing. You can also change the sorting by using this drop-down menu here in the right-hand corner. You can sort it by date added to the list, so when you checked it out, by the title, or by the author. All right, so one last quick thing we're going to look at is the settings page. And we won't get into a ton of detail on these settings, but just so you know that they're available, the general settings, you have your different lending periods that you can change. These are the default numbers that show up when you hit borrow. So I have mine set for all the max numbers except for my magazines, but you can change this if you know you're always only going to borrow things in 7 or 14-day periods. You can change this so it's easy to go ahead and click that borrow button without having to look at that drop-down menu beforehand. Also, this is where you can click that check mark to turn on your history or turn off your history, depending on which way you decide to go with, if you want to keep it or not. All right, so that is all the settings you need to know for using KLU easily. There are other settings, and there are a lot more things that you can do with Kentucky Libraries Unbound that we will cover in a more advanced video, but these are the basics so you can go ahead and get started. If you have any questions or you need any assistance, always feel free to call or visit the library, and someone at the Information Services Desk should be able to help you. We can also set up a one-on-one appointment if you are interested in getting some one-on-one assistance. All right, well, I hope that you feel confident using Kentucky Libraries Unbound and checking out our ebooks, e-audiobooks, and all the other things it has to offer, and I hope you have a great day.